Alan Matheson Turing, a man whose ideas reshaped the world, a man of numbers, logic, and courage, who laid the foundation for the digital age and artificial intelligence, yet lived a life marked by tragedy and misunderstanding. This is the story of Alan Turing. Alan Turing was born on June 23, 1912, in London, England. His father, Julius Turing, worked in the Indian Civil Service, and his mother, Ethel Sarah Stoney, came from a family of engineers in India. From an early age, Alan displayed a deep curiosity about how things worked. He was fascinated by patterns, puzzles, and scientific experiments far more than literature or history. He once taught himself to read before going to school, and by the age of 10, he was solving advanced math problems on his own. At Sherborne School, his teachers noticed his brilliance, but worried that his interests were too focused. They wanted him to fit in. Alan, however, had no interest in fitting in. He wanted to think. He loved mathematics because, as he said later, mathematical reasoning may be regarded rather schematically as the exercise of a combination of intuition and ingenuity. During his teenage years, Alan formed a deep friendship with another student named Christopher Morcom. Christopher shared his passion for science, and the two often dreamed about the mysteries of the universe. But in 1930, tragedy struck. Christopher died suddenly of tuberculosis. Alan was heartbroken. He later said that his belief in the human mind and the soul grew stronger after Christopher's death. This loss inspired him to explore how thought itself might be represented by physical processes, an idea that would later lead to the birth of computer science. After leaving Sherborne, Turing entered King's College at the University of Cambridge in 1931. At Cambridge, he flourished. He studied mathematics and became fascinated with logic, probability, and the foundations of computation. In 1934, at just 22 years old, he was elected a Fellow of King's College for his research in probability theory. His mind worked differently, fast, abstract, and yet grounded in real-world logic. In 1936, he published one of the most important papers in the history of mathematics, on computable numbers with an application to the Entscheiden problem. In this paper, Turing asked a profound question. Can all mathematical problems be solved by mechanical calculation? To explore this, he invented the concept of a universal machine that could perform any calculation if it was given a set of instructions. He proved that some problems could never be solved by any such machine. But his concept of a universal, programmable machine became the theoretical foundation for every computer ever built. In 1938, Turing earned his PhD at Princeton University in the United States, under the guidance of Alonzo Church. While there, he continued exploring logic, cryptography, and mechanical computation. He was only 26 years old. When World War II erupted in 1939, Turing returned to Britain and joined the Government Code and Cipher School at Bletchley Park, the secret headquarters for British codebreakers. The Germans were using a cipher machine called Enigma to send military messages. Its code was considered unbreakable. Every day, the machine's settings changed, creating more than 150 quintillion possible combinations. It was chaos by design. But Turing saw order in chaos. He created an electromechanical device called the bomb, which could test thousands of possible Enigma settings in minutes. He combined mathematical logic with engineering, using pattern recognition and probability to eliminate impossible settings. With his invention and the work of his brilliant team, the Allies began reading secret German communications. Convoys could avoid submarine attacks, plans could be intercepted, lives could be saved. Historians estimate that Turing's code-breaking shortened the war in Europe by more than 2 years and saved millions of lives. Yet, because of official secrecy, his achievements were kept hidden for decades. After the war, Turing turned to a new challenge: building real, physical computers. At the National Physical Laboratory, he designed the Automatic Computing Engine, or ACE, one of the first detailed blueprints for a stored program computer. He described in astonishing detail how such a machine would store data and instructions electronically. Although bureaucratic delays prevented ACE from being built under his supervision, other scientists later used his design to create early British computers. By the late 1940s, Turing had joined the University of Manchester, working on the Manchester Mark I, one of the world's first working computers. But Turing's mind was already racing far ahead. He wasn't content to make machines that could only calculate, he wanted to make machines that could think. In 1950, he published another revolutionary paper, Computing Machinery and Intelligence. He began with the simple but daring question, can machines think? To answer it, he proposed a test, what he called the imitation game, now known as the Turing test. The idea was to have a human interact with a machine through text. If the human couldn't tell whether they were talking to a machine or another person, the machine could be said to exhibit intelligence. This test became one of the most influential ideas in artificial intelligence. Turing predicted that by the 20th century, computers would be able to play chess, compose music, and carry on conversations, predictions that came true. But Turing's genius extended beyond computing. He ventured into biology, exploring how natural patterns, like the stripes on a zebra or the spiral of a sunflower, could emerge from simple chemical reactions. In 1952, he published The Chemical Basis of Morphogenesis, introducing mathematical models that explained how complex biological patterns form naturally. His theory later became a cornerstone of modern systems biology. Yet behind his incredible mind was a man fighting a cruel reality. Turing was gay at a time when homosexuality was illegal in Britain. In 1952, he began a relationship with a young man. When he reported a burglary to the police, the relationship came to light. He was arrested and charged with gross indecency. At his trial, the man who helped win a world war was treated as a criminal for simply being himself. He was given a choice, prison or chemical castration through hormone treatment. He chose the latter, hoping to continue his work. The treatment had severe side effects, physical and psychological. He was barred from his government research, stripped of his security clearance, and isolated from the scientific community he helped create. Even so, Turing kept working. He cycled to the university every day, still exploring the mysteries of mathematics, logic, and life. But the loneliness took its toll. On June 7, 1954, Alan Turing was found dead in his home. A half-eaten apple lay beside him. The cause of death was cyanide poisoning. He was only 41 years old. Many believe he took his own life. Some say it might have been accidental. Whatever the truth, the world lost one of their brightest minds. For years, his story remained hidden, buried beneath state secrets and social shame. But as time passed, the truth emerged. People began to realize how much he had given and how much had been taken from him. In 2013, Queen Elizabeth II granted Turing a royal pardon, acknowledging the terrible injustice he suffered. Today, his face appears on the British £50 note. Statues and memorials honor him at Bletchley Park, Manchester, and beyond. And every year, the world's greatest computer scientists receive the A.M. Turing Award, named in his honor, the highest prize in computer science. Alan Turing didn't just imagine the computer. He imagined a world where thought could be mechanized, where logic could come alive in silicon, and where intelligence might one day be shared between humans and machines. He saw possibilities far beyond his time, possibilities that define our time. Turing once wrote, "We can only see a short distance ahead, but we can see plenty there that needs to be done." He was right. From every smartphone to every artificial intelligence system, his vision lives on. Alan Turing proved that the power of thought is not limited by flesh and blood. It is powered by imagination, courage, and the unyielding pursuit of truth. This is his legacy. This is Alan Turing, the man who invented the future.